This is me. Yes, it is. How are you?
All right. Alright, you can focus in on me. You can focus in on me. Got that?
Greetings. This is Sergeant First Class Johnson, live from Afghanistan. Today's topic, before we begin, let me begin by explaining to you, I'm referencing from the following sources of information. The Army Substance Abuse Program Media for the Unit Prevention Leaders, as well as the 4 individual slots that's up here dealing with the websites that I took my information from today. Today's topic, we're going to discuss something very seriously concerning driving under the influence, driving while intoxicated, or operating a motor vehicle while impaired. But however, we're going to focus on responsible drinking. Follow me. Today's topic, responsible drinking. The importance of this topic, I know we all like to have fun, we all like to go out, we all like to party. However, but we're going to seriously focus on the effects that alcohol actually have, but not trying to alleviate or take away your fun when it comes to actually drinking. But I hope that you take into consideration that it does not mix well with trying to operate a vehicle with alcohol in your system. Next slide. Learning objectives for today. The term learning objective. We're going to discuss the role media outlets that play in our drinking behaviors. We're going to also discuss different safety tips that should be considered while consuming alcohol and discuss the consequences of underage drinking. And I'm quite sure many of us at some point in our life possibly played the role or took that chance to actually operate a vehicle with alcohol in our system. Next. Enabling learning objective. A, we're going to define how our individual differences affect the ability to consume alcohol, define underage drinking. Bravo, we're going to discuss safety tips to follow while consuming alcohol. And Charlie, we're going to understand how your behavior, the media's role in underage drinking can be dealt with, and how consumption of alcohol in moderation may not be detrimental to your health. And the reason why I'm focusing in on this per se group, we're deployed. We've been away from the alcohol from out of our system for quite a while, and trust me, I guarantee when we get back to the United States, there's going to be a lot of individuals dealing with instances concerning alcohol-related instances. Next slide. The media message, okay? They usually say having a drink once a day promotes good health. Everybody heard that, correct? All right. We also hear don't drink and drive, which is correct. We hear if you're going to drink, drink in moderation. If you're going to drink, drink responsibly. And if you want to have fun, date, or watch sports, then you have to drink. And most folks usually do that while watching sports. Next. Definition. One drink defined as 5 ounces of wine, 12% alcohol, 1.5 of 80 proof distilled spirits, or 12 ounces of regular beer. Every last one of these drinks that's located up here have the same effects and the same amount of alcohol within the system. Anyone ever heard of the Mothers Against Drunk Driving? All right. That case, according to statistical studies, came out in the early 80s. To give you a few cases, in 2008, the statistics, in 1982, the total fatalities started with 43,945 individuals, but the alcohol-related fatalities started with 26,173 that year. In 1988, it was 47,087, with total alcohol-related fatalities 23,833. 2008, they dropped to about 37,261, but for the total fatalities, 13,846. What do you think are the 3 major states during that time period that were really affected by the alcohol? Anybody want to take a guess? Take a stab. Anybody?
California.
California was number 2 on the charts. That was one. How about another one?
New York.
Good guess, but not per se.
Texas.
Okay, we have Texas as the leading state in each year, 2008. And then you also have Florida. Next slide. Drinking in general. Drinking habits vary from person to person. Biological, social factors, and personality all play a role. And also take into consideration weight-wise. Like myself, being very small, I'm not crazy enough to just go and consume alcohol, just down it in my system. Okay, 2. Due to medical conditions or dependence issues, some individuals must abstain from alcohol, which is true. And the last, drinking, responsible drinking. Okay, drinking in a way that it does not adversely affect an individual's ability to fulfill their legal, moral, or social obligation, nor does it negatively impact their health, job performance, or quality of life. Next slide. Here you have drinking tips. Eat before you actually drink. Alright? Before you celebrate, ensure that you designate an individual that's responsible, that's going to be a designated driver for public, or you can use public transportation. You also have, don't chug your drinks. Drink slowly to make your drinks last. And we know we get into these drinking games, which is not good. Okay? And the last, alternate between alcohol and non-alcoholic drink, which would be alcohol and water. Next. Remember, it's always okay not to drink. You can have fun without drinking. That's what I like to say. You can also avoid high-risk drinking, more than 3 per day. Don't leave your buddy behind. We know the Army stresses that as very important. Do not leave your battle buddy. Because if you leave, then guess what? You just failed that individual. And don't drink when taking medication. Statistics states that 1 in 3 people will be involved in an alcohol-related crash in their entire lifetime. An average drunk has driven drunk 87 times before being arrested. An average drunk. Every minute, 1 person is injured from an alcohol-related crash, and 50 to 75% of convicted drug persons or drinking while driving under the influence continue to drive on a suspended license. Don't answer that question, but I just hope it's not you. Next. Underage drinking. You have different factors where, like in different states or different area countries, whatever, the legal age to drink, and per se. Next slide. Here you have, if a soldier is old enough to vote, enlist in the Army, and die for their country, we heard that, then he or she should be old enough to drink alcohol. We heard that before, right? We also heard if an 18-year-old person can vote, get married, enter into legal contracts, and smoke, then they should also be able to drink alcohol if they choose. And you heard alcohol is a legal drug for someone 21 or over. Young adults want the right to make the decision whether to drink or not. Next. Facts. Condoms installation, 21 years and over. In Europe, which is Germany area, 17 years old. Korea, 20 years old to drink. Puerto Rico, 18 years old. Most soldiers that deploy to fight in a war or conflict cannot drink alcohol in the area of operation regardless of their age. And that's where we're at today, right now, being deployed. Next. Apart from being illegal, underage drinking poses a high risk to both the individual and society itself. And for example, the rate of alcohol-related traffic crashes is greater for drivers ages 16 to 20 than for drivers aged 21 and older. Next. Summary. You need to understand, partly responsibility, have a good time and blow off steam, but don't make drinking your priority. You should be there to have a good time, not there just to get drunk. Plan ahead. Make sure you arrange for a sober ride home before going out. Pace yourself. Limit yourself to 1 drink per hour and no more than 3 in that occasion. And understand, the group that's out, Mothers Against Driving, do not be that individual to become a statistic, because with your ability, if you operate that vehicle while under the influence, you're not only affecting yourself, but however you're affecting your family members and those victims that have either lost someone due to your irresponsibility or someone could have been paralyzed or some serious accident happened. And plus to count the cost of how much money that's going to be coming out your pocket, how many classes that you'll be taking, and then to get yourself back to the point where you're supposed to be. So do understand, you can drink, but drink responsibly and do not operate a vehicle with alcohol in your system. This is Sergeant First Class Johnson signing off, and I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed this class, and do be safe, and happy holidays.